Hi guys, this is Christy. Sorry I'm having to do today's live as a recording. I'm coming down with a bad summer cold. My son's had it last few days. He's getting a little better. He was able to go back to work a couple days ago. But I'm starting to get it. I woke up in the middle of the night with a bad sore throat. But I already had everything all set up. I did all that hard work. I didn't want to not do this video. And I've been looking forward to doing this video because we're doing one of my favorite bundles in the August to December catalog. And that's the in the Pines bundle. And you might have to bear with me a few times. I can tell my brain's not working very well, and I knew it's going to be even worse this afternoon when I'm really, really tired. So that's why I'm doing the recording this morning. So first off, I have to thank someone here. Look at this gorgeous card. Isn't it pretty? This is from Linda Brady. She was the one that won my giveaway for commenting during the live 2 weeks ago. And then just got this card yesterday in the mail. I think it is so adorable. I love it. So thanks, Linda. I really appreciate that. I love that card. Great job. Okay, and speaking of giveaways, I've got an announcement on who won for sharing my video a couple weeks ago. Everybody that shared my video within the 2 weeks in between the last video and this one, we're put in a drawing. And anytime you watch this during those 2 weeks, you can share the video, and you have to make sure you comment shared. And you win. Let me grab these here. That kind of covered them up. The seasonal wreath embossing folder. So everyone that shared this video got put in the drawing, and the winner is Diana Billsland. Congratulations, Diana. I'll get this mailed out to you right away. I've still got your address, so no worries. So congratulations for that. And if you want to know how you can win some prizes this week, I'll show you those here in just a minute. But first, let me explain them because I just started them last week or 2 weeks ago. So this is something new. The first one is for everyone that watches live. So since this is a recording, it's going to be while you're watching the premiere. This is going to feel just like a live to you as you're watching it, except I'm not going to be able to answer them during the video. Speaking to you. I'm going to be watching the video along with you. So whenever you comment or have questions, I will comment right back in the comments section. I'll just type it out just like you're doing. So it's going to feel just like that, except you're not going to hear my voice answering your questions. So if you're watching this during the premiere, your name will be put in this every time you comment. Just if you say you like it or you ooh and ah, things like that. Or if you do, like you're on Facebook, do emojis, you'll get put in the drawing too. Okay, then the second prize is for everybody that watches it between now and my next video, which is September 11th. If you share my video and then comment shared, you have to comment shared because YouTube and Facebook don't let me know when somebody shares it. When you do that, you'll be put in a drawing for another prize, and this prize is going to be these frosted flower embellishments. Let me switch my screen here. I almost forgot to do that. So this is what you're going to win if you share my video between now and September 10th. So I really appreciate you sharing. It gets my videos out there so more people know I'm doing them. So this is what you'll get put in a drawing to win these really pretty embellishments. And the neat thing about the clear ones, you can make those any color you want with our Stampin' Blends. Pretty neat idea. You could probably even change these a little bit too. I've never really done that. The pink you probably definitely could. I'm not sure about the purple ones. But I love these. I used these a lot when they were available. So if you share my video and comment shared within the next 2 weeks, you'll get your name put in the drawing. And with the comments, when you do it during the premiere, then you'll get put in the drawing to win all the cards I'm making. Okay, so we've got that taken care of. Now let's go to bonus days. I don't want you to forget about your coupons. You only have until this coming Monday, so you only have a few more days to redeem your coupons. You have to get them redeemed by 11:50 p.m. Mountain Time. So make sure you get those done because you don't want to lose those. You earned those and you should be able to use them. And then don't forget about Paper Pumpkin. I can't wait for this one. This is the fall one. You've got enough supplies to make 20 cracker box treat packages. The neat thing with Paper Pumpkin, you get everything you need. They give you the adhesive, they give you the ink pads, you get an exclusive stamp set. The Paper Pumpkin stamp sets are never in a catalog, which is really cool. All for only $22 plus shipping, or no, plus tax. The shipping's already included in the 22. I forgot about that. Each cracker box treat can be customized for Halloween, Thanksgiving, autumn, or all three. And you can see the colors there: Bumblebee, Basic Black, Cajun Craze, Cinnamon Cider, Messy Meadow, Old Olive, and Pumpkin Pie and White. So I can't wait for that because I love working on fall projects. Okay, let's switch videos. Now I'm going to start making cards. So bear with me. I'm sure I'm going to be making some mistakes because I'm not feeling real good, but this should still be a lot of fun. I really liked making these cards yesterday. So the first thing you need is a piece of cherry cobbler. This is 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to fold this in half. Dig my bone folder out here. There we go. So we've got that ready to go. Oh, I was going to show you the bundle first. Let's do that. We've got the In the Pines bundle. Love this bundle. Forgot to look up the price. Boy, my brain's not working today. But you get this, if you purchase it as a bundle, instead of buying them separately, you save 10%. But aren't those images beautiful? And this can be used all year long. Great set for masculine cards or scrapbook pages, any kind of project you want to make. Now let's go ahead and dig out all of the dies that I'm going to be using. There's going to be a bunch of them since I'm making 3 cards. But I'm using this one, and this one, and this one. I'm looking at all my pages so don't forget. I'm using both of the snows, and I'm using both of these. So I'm actually using almost all of them. These are the only 2 I'm not using. So we've got those together, so I don't lose those. And then I'm also using the For Unto Us stamp set. I love that they're greetings for the outside and the inside of your cards. Love this set. It's one of my, this one is probably going to be a keeper. I'll probably end up keeping this one when it retires. A lot of times I sell my retired stuff, but when I really like it, I keep it. And then this is the Evergreen Forest folder. I'll be using this. This one goes really well with this In the Pines stamp set. And I've got the Tasteful Textile from the annual catalog, and I use this one a ton. I'll be using on 2 of the cards today. And then this one I actually didn't use when I was making these cards yesterday. I thought of it after the fact. So on my 3rd card, I'm going to be changing the card up from what I did originally. And I'll show you the original one I made too. But we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it'll look as good as I'm thinking in my head. We'll try that out. So make sure you stay till the end of the video so you see that. Okay, so we're back to the card. We've got the cherry cobbler. And I need a piece of crumb cake. This is for the inside of the card. This is a 4 by 5.25. This is a photopolymer set. The In the Pines is. So I'm going to grab my trio stamp. This is with the shaded spruce ink pad. Ink that up. I'm going to stamp it here in the bottom right corner. Okay. The other color I'm going to be using is my cherry cobbler. And I'm picking the papers, the colors I mean, from the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. I'm using that with this card. Now this is one of the sayings in the For Unto Us. I'm going to put that here at the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and add Merry Christmas down here. I didn't do this on my original, but normally I do like putting Merry Christmas on the inside too. And then you can sign it, of course. So that's the inside of the card. And the only other stamping thing I'm doing is the greeting for the inside. So I'm just grabbing a scrap piece of Whisper White. I'm going to stamp that Merry Christmas again in the cherry cobbler. Okay, go ahead and close these up and get them out of the way. We're done with all these stamps, I mean. Okay, now I'm going to grab the Label Me Fancy. Yes, there's Label Me Lovely and Label Me Fancy, so I always get those 2 mixed up. So I'm going to put that, this is all in the annual catalog, by the way, if you like it. I like that you can put holes or a slit in the ends anywhere you want it to put ribbon in. I love that. Now, I'm not going to be doing that this time, but I love that option. Now, I'm going to put this inside. I'm going to angle it so you can see it. And that's ready to go. And throw this away. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put this over to the side. Let's go ahead and put this on the inside of the card. Put my seal on here. I love this seal. Works so well. And some of you may not know this. For the first about 10 minutes, you can actually take this back up again. So if I were to put it on crooked and wanted to redo it, I could peel it off and put it back on. After 10 minutes, it's permanent. Love this stuff. Okay, so now we've got the inside done. So that I don't need right now. We're going to start doing some die cutting. So let me get some things out of the way so I can get my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out here. Oh, I'm running out of room. Okay, there we go. Now, I want to give you a little disclaimer here. This thing is going to be moving around on me because my little wood thing here is super, super smooth. It's slick. I would never put this on my floor to make it look like wood because you would be falling down left and right. So that is why this can't get a good grip. When I've got it on my desk or my wood table I've got, my resin table is out in my classroom, it doesn't move on me. So I just want to make sure you know that. I didn't want you to think, oh no, that's not going to work very well. It works great. It's just my surface is super slick. So the sandwich you need for die cutting is the number one. Move this just a little bit so you can see just a little bit better. Then the number 2 plate. Then one of the number 3s. There are 2 of these you'll need. And I'm going to grab a piece of crumb cake. This is 2.5 by 3.5. And let's see, is there anything else? Actually, I think this is all the die cutting for this one. That's right. I had to look at my card quick. Now, with there are some little framelits for the trees. And these just cut out trees. Then there's this really neat one that only cuts out all of these little sections. You'll see here in a minute. It almost makes like a little window. So I'm going to lay this right here in the middle. Now, I wasn't able to get the magnetic platform or plate. I cannot wait to get that. It'll be available, we found out, September 1st when this is available for customers to purchase. So that's going to be on my order real quick because I bet they sell really fast. Oh, where'd my other cutting pad go? Oh, there it is. I knew I had it here somewhere. Okay, so then you put another number 3 on top of it. I'm ready for the magnetic plate because I'm getting tired of using my washi tape. But we're going to put this through. You only need to do it that one time. It cuts really well. Okay, let's go ahead and move this. See, a bunch of the pieces already came out. I'm going to put these over here. Had my little trash plate covered up, which you can't see when I do my live videos. My plates are over too far, but that's okay. You don't need to see those. I'll go ahead and move this out of the way till I need it again, because I'll be using my die cutting machine a lot with these cards. Okay, so it's very carefully take the washi tape off. So I'm having a little trouble. That's why I can't wait. I've got a little bit of the cardstock coming off, but it works. See all those little pieces? And they come out really quick. I might have to grab my take your pick tool here in a second. But they come out pretty easy. Yep, I'm going to have to do that. Okay. There we go. I miss being able to talk to you guys during the live, because when I'm doing stuff like this is when I could check your comments and be able to talk to you. But that's okay. Like I said, while you're watching this, I'm watching it with you, and I'll be commenting, be able to answer your comments, and actually comment to just interact with you during the video that way. Okay, I forgot I do still need this. Now we're going to do some embossing. I told you I'd probably forget some of the things I'm doing. Hopefully we'll get through this video together. When you emboss, you want number 1 again, and then number 2. Then you take your paper and put it in the folder you're using, and this one I'm using that Tasteful Textile. Let me get in the video better again. I'm going to put this in because I thought this needs to have some embossing to it. It just looked too plain. Then you need the specialty plate. Now all these plates that I'm showing you come with the Stampin' Cut. I love that. Oops, you know what? I was wondering why that wasn't going through. You do not want number 2. Okay, this is going to be a long video for me. So we've got the plate number 1, your cardstock in the folder, and then the specialty plate. Oh, much easier. I was wondering why that wasn't going through. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. I love the texture. Yeah, you can see that. I love the texture with that. Just really makes it look extra special. Okay, now I can get this out of the way until the next card. Okay, let's bring all my pieces in. I'm going to put this on a piece of plaid. This one is from the Plaid Tidings DSP. It's a 3x4 piece. And I wanted this to be popped up a little bit. And because it's dark colored, I'm going to use my black dimensionals. I'm just going to put 1 in each corner, and that holds it up pretty good. So put all of these on. Okay. Grab my take your pick tool. And whenever I do this, I just go at an angle and kind of scoop it up. Sometimes I can't get a hold of it like that time. Well, this paper, what it is, the paper is really flimsy now that I put it through the embossing folder. It breaks up the fiber, so it's moving on me. It makes it a little bit harder. Okay, so I'm going to put this right in the center of the plaid paper. I just love this plaid paper. Doesn't that look cool behind that? I love that. Let me get over here. I keep forgetting where my video's at. There we go. It's always different from my recorded videos. The lens is actually over here. Okay, so now we've got that ready to go. This is another piece of that Plaid Tidings DSP, and this is a 4x2 inch piece, and this cherry cobbler is a 4x2 1/4. So we're going to put this, I love all the different plaids on this. This is the other side of this one. So, I mean, there's stuff for Christmas, fall, there are colors that would go good for spring and summer. Another great designer series paper you can use all year long. The plaid is probably, I don't know if it's my favorite from the holiday catalog, but it is awful close. It might be my favorite. Can't think right now, but I really like it a lot. Oh my goodness, I forgot another thing to emboss. And we've got to emboss this because it looks so nice. I'm going to grab this again. Oops, I want to turn it around so I can reach my crank here. So we're going to do the number 1. We're going to use the Evergreen Forest folder. And I'm going to have it to where these, this little line, because we've got some that are higher up, I want it to be with these shorter ones, and line that tallest one up here near the top. Because I'm fine, I want this to not be embossed. Oops, I'm getting out of the screen. I am so sorry. There we go. So that's how you want it to go. Now, if I put it in fold first like you're supposed to, this paper is going to get out of the way. If you saw my video on this new machine, you already know this. From here to here is actually a little bit wider than our old die cutting machine. So when I put this in, I was always nervous when I did this with my other die cutting machine because it would scrape on the metal sides on the inside and hurt my embossing folder if I didn't get in just right. Since there's a little more room, I don't have to worry about that, just as long as this is not going like this, of course. But it's not going to scrape at all. Another great thing about this die cutting machine. I'm going to run that through, because with this embossing folder, you're going to want to do this a lot. But if you never have cardstock sticking out, then make sure you always go fold first. But when you've got the cardstock sticking out like I am, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I love this folder. I better not talk like that. Get excited. I'm going to lose my voice before the video is over. Okay, so we've got that ready. So now you see why I was like, oh no, I can't forget that. So now I'm going to grab these pieces again. This is going to go along the bottom. Oop, where did I put my seal? Oh, I know it's here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I knew I probably pushed it with the die cutting machine, and that's what I did. So I'm going to put this across here, and it's going to go here near the bottom. So I'm covering up that spot right there. Okay, I kind of liked it being, I wanted the trees to be taller to show better once I put this piece on, and I kind of like this not being embossed down here. So since this already has dimensionals for the crumb cake piece, I'm going to put this on with the regular seal. I don't want to put too many things of dimensionals on there because then you can't put it in an envelope and mail it. It gets too thick. So I'm going to put this right here, making sure we see those trees. Isn't that neat? I hope you can see that. That's the one thing with light. Oh, there we go. I think you can see that pretty good. I really like that a lot. Then turn this over. Another thing I love about our seal, it does such a good job with embossed pieces. With our old snail, I would have it fall off after a while. I keep all my cards that I showcase for my customers when they come for classes so they can look at them standing upright on shelves like so, and anything that was embossed and I put on with the snail would fall off eventually, and I have not had that problem at all with this. Okay, even though I've only had one class since COVID here, they're still up on my shelf and not having any problems. Okay, now this one, I'm going to have it hanging over a little bit, but I don't want a dimensional on this side since this is already raised up. So I'm only going to put one on the right side. And then put this, oh, I do want to put some seal right here though, because I don't want that popping up off on me. And right there. So I hope you like that card. That's for, oh, we forgot something, or I forgot something. Got to put a little bling on it. You can tell I've used these a lot. I'm almost done with this one. The Star Designer Elements. These are in the annual catalog. I love those copper stars. Aren't those gorgeous? So we're going to take one of those and put it right on top of the tree. I thought it needed a little something. There we go. Didn't that star just really set it off? But this card would be really fast. I know it kind of took me a little longer because I kept forgetting steps, but it goes pretty quick. If you mass produce this, it wouldn't take you that long. And not a ton of stamping. So I hope you like this card. And remember, like I said, if you comment during the premiere or the live, however you want to call it, you'll get your name put in a drawing, and this will be one of the cards that you'll receive as your prize. So I hope you like that. So you'll have 3 Christmas cards you can give away or keep, whichever. I know I've got some people say, oh, I never get rid of my cards. Okay. And you can keep it as samples, and I'll give you all the dimensions. Well, all the dimensions will be on my blog post. And I'll put a link to that once I get the blog post up in the description. And you can make these yourself at home. Okay, now we're going to go with another color scheme. Now you're going to notice I am making them totally different colors. I wanted to give you totally different looks. This one I'm using Just Jade. It's a little bit of a lighter green. I really like this color of this. And the video's pretty close to what color it is. It looks good. Okay, so I'm going to put this and fold it like always. Boom, there we go. I'm kind of throwing things around, forgetting where I'm putting them. So there's that. Let's go ahead and do stamping first. I always have to think this through, so I'm not having to bring my die cutting machine out too much. I need a piece of Whisper White. This piece, to fit both trees I'm going to be putting it on, is 4 by 3.5. And we're going to do some 2-step stamping, but you're going to see how easy it is to line these up. Now, whenever I do 2-step, especially with a photopolymer, which thankfully, whenever we have a 2-step now, Stampin' Up! Makes them be photopolymer, so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to use the darker color, which is a cinnamon cider. You always want to stamp the darker color first. That way, when you go to put the lighter color on, you're going to be able to see what you're doing. So I'm going to ink this up. This is the outline of the tree. And you could easily, which is kind of what I did with the inside of the other card, I could have filled it up, but I decided not to. That would look good if you just did it in green and you wouldn't have to do anything with it. But I wanted to show you how the 2-step is. You could even keep them this brown color if you wanted to. Just depends. Oh, and I forgot to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, but that worked out okay. I could notice that these are a little lighter, so I'm definitely going to get my Pierce mat out again, because that definitely helps. I wouldn't have gotten that lighter version, but it's not that big a difference. I don't think anybody's going to notice. Now I'm going to bring in the 2 that fill in. I'm going to use the Just Jade. And now you're going to see how easy it is to fill this in. And I'm at an angle, so if I can do it at an angle, you can definitely do it when you get your head right over it. Okay, and I'm sick, so if I can definitely do this while I'm sick. Hold it down a few seconds. Voila. Doesn't that look good? I love that. Okay, now the narrow one fills in this one. I'm looking to make sure I've got the point lined up. Oops, looks like I got a little green when I lifted that up. That's okay, because this is going to be die cut. And then I check the bottom out, and then it all lines up pretty good. Thankfully, I'm die cutting that, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, I wanted these to be filled in. I could have done blender pens to make that bleed, but I decided just to grab my cinnamon cider Stampin' Right marker and just fill that bottom in a little bit. There we go. I thought that it needed to be colored in since the rest of it was. So those will be die cut. Let's grab a piece of Whisper White again. This is a little piece, but it is a 2.5 by 1/2. Then you're going to need it that size because that's for your greeting. I'm going to grab the Season's Greetings. There we go. Season Greetings stamp. Now this is in the woods. I mean in the pines set. I'm going to grab the Season's Greetings. Can I put it over here? Actually, first we're going to take the Banner Pick-a-Punch. This is in the mini. I love. It's hard to get. There we go. That might show it a little better. I love the 2 different looks you can get. We're going to be doing this one. it's got a guide for 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. So I find it's easier to punch the end first, because if you get your greeting stamped on here in the wrong spot, you could actually punch your words off. So I think it's a lot easier to do it that way. Now I want the banner to be on the left side, so I'm going to turn it around here. Now, I'm going to ink this up again in case it started drying on me. You get that Season's Greetings. There we go. So that's ready to go. It just fits, but with it being photopolymer, that's, if it had been a rubber, the rubber stamp probably would have made that a little wider. But I was able to line it up pretty easy. Now I think, let's go ahead and do the inside. I thought that was the end of the stamping, but we've got some stamping to do on the inside. So I'm going to grab the big tree again. Grab a 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of the Whisper White. So once again, we're going to stamp the dark color first, so the cinnamon cider. Okay, much better. I don't have any lighter version since I'm using the Stampin' Pierce mat. And this is available even though it's not in the catalog. They've got a new stock in. They were going to retire it, and then they realized we were all like, we would really need that, so they brought it back. So it's going to be, it's in the online store. And speaking of online store, I've got a link to that in my video description too, if you ever want to place an order. So I've got all your supplies you need for Christmas cards. Okay, so there's the inside. We'll go ahead and put that on the inside of the card. I keep misplacing my seal. How could I miss that big? There we go. I keep putting it all the way over to the right on the other side of my die cutting machine. That's why I'm not seeing it. Okay, so this will be the inside of the card. And you could definitely put a greeting for the For Unto Us stamp set if you want to too, or write a greeting in there. So there you go. A lot of times I like having stamped greetings for Christmas cards. Like if you send out 40 or 50 cards, you're not going to, it's hard to write a bunch of things. So it's nice to have a greeting stamped. So we've got that. So that's that card. Oh, that's not that card. That's the inside of the card. We need to finish the rest of it. Okay, we're all done with the stamping. So let's get these out of the way. I think I'm going to stack these up with my other ink pads that I'm all done with. My biggest concern, I don't want to get any glue on the cards that are going to be prized. Ink on the cards that I'm going to be doing as prizes. Okay, we don't need this right now, so let's move that out of the way. We're going to bring this thing in. And since I've got it set up to emboss, we're going to go ahead and emboss. I'm going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White. We're going to bring in this beauty again, the Evergreen Forest. Now this one, I went ahead, I'm putting the whole piece of cardstock in here. I kind of wanted a tall tree, so I'm going to bring it over just a little bit. But this time I want to make sure the bottom is also down here too, because I like having that little, like kind of like sky up there. So now that I've got the cardstock in there completely, I'm going to put it in the right way, because this does help with the fold still do it this way. It protects that fold so it doesn't mess up on you. Then put the specialty plate on top. We're about halfway done, which is good. I can tell my voice is leaving me. Okay, so we've got this ready to go, and we're going to do something really fun with this in just a minute. You're going to love it. Okay, that's all the embossing we're doing for this. No, we're not. We've got some more embossing to do. I'm going to grab the Tasteful Textile again, and I grabbed a piece of champagne foil. I love the look of this foil. Oh, I'm getting out of the screen again. There we go. And I'm going to put it in, so yes, you can emboss our foil. You want to put it in foil facing up, and then the Stampin' Up logo on top. And this one is also a 3D, so use the same sandwich, the number 1, and then the specialty plate. The Winter Snow one is not a 3D, so I'll be able to show you that sandwich here on the last card. But isn't that cool? I didn't want it to stay smooth. I wanted that texture to it. I just love that. Hope you like that too. Okay, now we're done embossing. We still need the number 1. I need to grab my number 2, one of my number 3s, and we're going to grab those trees that I stamped and grab the dies for it. I am so glad we don't have to fussy cut these out. I'm going to use some washi tape again to until I get that magnetic platform. Now I'm going to try not to get any of that washi tape on the tree. I've kind of made it real loose there. Because sometimes, especially with Whisper White, sometimes the washi tape does take a layer off. But I don't want it moving on me. So over here, I don't care if it tears some of the white. So we're good on that. So I'm making sure that's on really good. Now, grab my other number 3 plate again. Put it on top. And then we'll run them through. Okay, now we're done. The die-cut machine on this card. Well, I did a little bit on that card. I think I remembered everything, so we won't have to bring that in until the last card. Okay, so then, since I put that on nice and light on the tree, it came right out. If you do it slow, you're probably okay. Like there, I did not take any up. That's good. Because I'll need to use that in my next cards. Get that back on my machine. Okay. Put those dies away so I don't lose those. So now I've got all the pieces ready to finish this card up. Now, I wanted to do something special with this. I keep my old Wink of Stella's. This is a clear one that's pretty much empty. I don't think it's got any left in it. And our Champagne Mist shimmer paint is what I'm going to use. Let's go ahead. I'm going to grab my silicone mat just in case I don't want to make a mess, and I can wipe it off if this dries on it. You always need to shake up the shimmer paint. We've got 2 different colors. This is a Champagne Mist, and we've got Frost White. The Champagne Mist is actually closer to the clear Wink of Stella than the white one is. So what I'm going to do, there is some in the lid, so I'm going to first off start picking some up from the lid. This way, you aren't going to ruin any of your, this brush is actually used to having this type of stuff on it. If you used it on our water painters, it will dry and get really hard a lot of times with that. So it's a lot better to, if you keep one of your Wink of Stellas, and then you can paint with the shimmer paint. But I hopefully you're seeing that. Yep, it's a little bit, there's some really neat shimmer to this. If I'd been thinking, I would have done this ahead of time, just started to paint it, and then, but that's okay, I'll go quick. I'm spreading it out, and sometimes I kind of want it light, but then when I was doing it yesterday, when you first start putting some on, it gets really dark. You can spread it out pretty good, but it actually looks kind of neat having the different two-tone effect with it. So let's get this all done. I need to get it all done because it's going to be one of the prizes. But the shimmer was just perfect. I thought, oh, this is so good. And you do want to go ahead and cover the whole thing, thinking, well, do you need to cover it? Because I'm not going to cover much of this. I really wanted these to show, and it really makes the card elegant looking. I almost didn't do this. I thought, oh, it really needs something. So this almost makes it look like it might be a frosty winter morning with all of the trees real frosty. Almost done. It didn't take that long, thank goodness. Hopefully you're not getting too bored out there. That should be all the paint I need. I think I can spread the rest of this out. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, I'm going to try to get this in the light so you can see it better. Get this closed before I dump it somewhere. But then you can put that lid on there, and this is good to go if you want to do that again. So there we've got all this nice shimmer. I wish you could see this in person. It looks so much better in person. It's really pretty. And that's why I used the champagne foil, because it matches with that Champagne Mist shimmer paint. Okay, so it dries pretty quick. I'm going to kind of flip it a little bit, but it dries super quick. I'm able to touch it now, and I'm not getting any shimmer paint on my thumb. So I love that about it. Okay, let's go ahead and start putting some things together. Our Flowers for Every Season DSP is literally every season. It's even got some paper for Christmas. So I thought this looked, or winter time. So that's why I got this one. This is in the annual catalog, by the way. So you've got blue flowers on this one. So we're going to put that across the bottom part, not too far down, maybe up a little bit farther. Put it right across there. Then we're going to take this beauty. I really love that texturized. It looks so neat. Oh, hold on. My screen just went away and I want to be able to see my, there we go. Put this across here. I just got a new computer. I'm having to use my old one right now because I wasn't able to transfer everything yet. So hopefully things will work better with my new computer. Okay, so we've got this on there. I'm going to put the big tree on with my regular seal and lay it down here. And then before I start putting things on with dimensionals, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card front. We could just go with one tree, but I thought it looked neat having a group of two. Having a pair. We don't want that tree to be lonely. Okay. I'm going to stick this right here. Okay. This one I'm going to put on with dimensionals. So since it's a light colored one, we're going to use the white. Get these off. I'm going to have it overlap and come down just a little bit, the big tree. I thought that was a nice pairing. Then we're going to take the Season's Greetings. Once again, since this one already has dimensionals on it, I'm just going to need one on this end. So where the banner part is, put one of these, and this with a 1/2 inch, it just fits with the big one. You can also use the mini ones, but since the big one still fits, I wanted to have it be a bigger one to stabilize it better. Okay. Put some seal on the end so it can stick on the tree. And put it near the bottom of the tree. There we go. That card is done. Isn't that pretty? I love, oh, I'm out of the screen again. I'm sorry. Love the shimmer in that. Oh, isn't that pretty with that foil strip? I hadn't really, when I got done with it, I liked it, but I didn't make it shimmer in the light when I was doing it. So there's your inside. If you wanted to, you could even just paint, well, I don't know if I would do it. I would use a regular Wink of Style that has the stuff in it, and you could shine that up if you wanted to. If you use a champagne mist, it might be a little too much. But that looks, I just love how that turned out. Okay, so if you comment during the premiere, the live, then you'll get, this will be one of the cards, the other card you'll get. Now I'm getting ready for the last card. And this one is totally, totally different. Like I said, I want all three of them to be different color schemes. If you've missed the premiere at the beginning, here are the first two I made. And you can watch the video once the premiere is over anytime you want, so you can watch the beginning of it. But this is two different looks. Now we're going to go with, it's not even close. At least these had some greens to them. This next one is totally different. We are going to have the card base, but you can't guess what color. Highland Heather. This is going to be my card base. And this one is going to be a landscape card. And landscape means it's going to be like this. So there's my base. And I'm not going to be doing a lot of stamping on this one. I need to look at see what I did on my inside. Okay, let's go ahead and do the inside of the card quick. This is a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece, Whisper White. Where did I put my, there we go. I need my Stampin' Pierce mat out again. And I'm going to be using this stamp, so I need to get that clean here. Got some brown on there, and we don't need that on there anymore. And I'm going to stamp it with Balmy Blue. So these are the two colored ink pads I'll be using, Balmy Blue and Highland Heather. I told you this was going to be totally different. Going to stamp Highland Heather. I'm sorry, Balmy Blue Tree. Want it to be like an icy blue tree, so there's that. Can't remember what all I, oh yeah. Then another stamp for the For Unto Us. This is sharing with you the glory, wonder, and miracle of this holy season. I didn't want it to be the same color as the tree, so we're going to do the Highland Heather with that one. Okay. And put it right here. Oops. Let's do that again, because this is going to be a prize, and if I do it again, then you'll get my original. Let me get that cleaned up. See, even demonstrators do that. I got too much ink on that top part. So let's go ahead and put that across the top. What I did, yeah, see there, that's fine. If you tap lightly, you're not going to have that problem. I kind of smooshed it down too far. much better. I love having two sides of cardstock. So now we'll do the tree again. Put it right here. Normally I would probably do the tree first, but I had an idea where it needed to go. That way you can see. If you get too high, then you're going to go into your words. So there's the inside of the card. Let's go ahead and put that on the inside. Oh, I still need my purple. I won't. Oh, take that back. I'm going to need both of these. So I'll go ahead and leave those open. Stick this on the inside. Nobody will know the difference except you that are watching. So this will go on the inside. Okay. Now this is where I'm going to do some things differently than what I did before. Let me get these out of the way. We'll bring those back in here in a minute. Here's my Stampin' Cut again. I'm using this a lot with this bundle. This is something, okay, let's go ahead and do what I originally did with the card. Isn't this gorgeous? This is the Balmy Blue Glimmer paper that's in the August to December mini. Love this, so pretty. We're going to die cut some trees with that. So the trees, I said, we've already used this one. That one made the openings in the first card. Those cut out the stamped versions. And now these two, we'll do some really pretty trees that we're going to do in that glimmer paper. So you need to die cut, you need the 1 plate, the 2 plate, grab a 3 plate, and I'm going to be able to put both of these on here. And I wanted to keep this 3x4 because it's a 12x12 sheet, so what I cut it off with. That way I can get, let's see, what do I get with these? 12. I'll get 12 of these out of that one sheet of paper. If I had wanted this whole tree, I would have had to make this more than 3, and that would have messed everything up. So I'm fine with it being a little shorter. So you want to make sure that the tip top of the tree is close to the top of the glimmer paper. Now this one fits just fine. So you can see how that 3x4 works really good. So don't worry about it hanging over the bottom. It's just going to be a shorter trunk, and it's not going to look any different to anybody. Now this one I'm going to have it go through a couple times. I really don't think you have to, but just to be on the safe side, I wanted to make sure everything was cut really good. So now we've got these. Kind of move those over the side because I think I've got some more die cut. Yes, I do. So let's get those out here in just a minute. This set even has slopes for snow. They thought of everything. So here's a piece of Whisper White that is, let me look at my cheat sheet here, 5 1/4 by 1 1/2, and this one's 5 1/4 by 3/4. So I want the wider one here. And what I'm going to do, because I want this to be a wider piece, the neat thing about these, you can make these as tall as you want because there is no blade here along the bottom. So I wanted the slopes to be near the top because I want this to be a wider one. So that looks pretty good. You just want to make sure this looks pretty straight right here at the bottom. Now this one, I'm going to line it pretty close to the bottom because I want this one to be a little narrower. And I really didn't want this taller piece right here, so I'm kind of going to have it more off the cardstock. So that's why I'm not centering that one. But I do want this to overlap, come over this edge a little bit because I don't want to miss cutting that. And I just moved it again. I'm going to go ahead and put some washi tape on this too because I think it's going to move on me. So we'll do that this way. And with this one, I'm not going to worry about doing, I'm going to put it right here along the top because that top section is going to be thrown away. Okay. Put this in. And now we will be done die cutting. Well, this is what I did on the original. Now I'm going to show you something. Hopefully this works good. Because my card, when I got done with it, I thought it needs something. So here's the one thing of the slopes. And then here's the second one. Oops, falling apart. So we've got the narrow one. Okay, so now we're going to emboss something. This is what I did not do. So we want to take away the 2 and the 3 because we're not going to use that right way. I'll be bringing the 3 back because I'm going to be using the Winter Snow. This is not a 3D. So when you do those, you do the number 1 platform, put a number 3, you put your paper in here. Now this is a piece of the I forget the name of it, Snowflake Splendor DSP. It's a 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece. This one's got the really pretty snowflakes on it. I'm sorry, I keep getting out of the screen here, but this is the look I'm going for, and I want the purple to be on top because I don't want my I want my snow to cover up the blue. Since I'm going to have my blue trees, I wanted more of the Highland Heather. But after I got mine done, I thought, boy, it needs something. We are going to emboss this with these snowflakes. So we've got snowflakes in this paper. So I really think this is going to look neat. I'm hoping it does anyway. I'm going out on a limb, changing my card during the video, but I think it'll be good. So there we go. And now you've got, if I can get hold of it, there we go. We have some pretty snowflakes in that paper. Isn't that cool? I love that. Yep, I think this is going to look neat. I love it when things in my head work right. Okay, so now we are done with the Stampin' Emboss cut. Bring in my card base again. We are going to do a little stamping. We want to grab this piece here, and I'm going to stamp a little greeting right here on the wider part. So make sure the wider part of this is on the left. I'm going to use one from Before and to Us. This is also a different greeting I'm putting on the front. I decided to do Glory to the Newborn King on this one. And we're going to use the Highland Heather. So I'm going to stamp it right here. Now, one thing I noticed, I've got all this rubber here, so it's okay if it goes off a little bit. Oh, I did it too hard. Well, I'm going to improvise. What I might do, we're going to do this. I'm going to show you this. Actually, that's a good thing that happened, because now we can improvise. Because I still need to put it on the wide part. There we go. I didn't push down as hard. That worked perfect. So I'm going to be putting the trees on the opposite side that I did on my first card. So I think that's going to make it look just fine. Now, this is going to go on here, but I thought that just looks so plain having it just white. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my Balmy Blue ink pad and a sponge. And I'm going to sponge the edges of this. Like I said, this is going to look totally different from my original now since I'm having to move my trees, but that's okay. I'm going to do the edges of this one too. This just makes the snow slopes pop. Okay, so we've got those on there. I might put a little bit more on this end. There we go. So those are ready to go. So now we're done with all the ink. This one is the first one you want to put on. So let me get this out of the way too. Grab my seal, which I moved again. There we go. Put the seal on here. Make sure you put one on each little slope here. And I'm going to put that, like I said, I want the Highland Heather on top. Now, if you want to do it with the blue on top, that is totally fine if you make this yourself. There we go. So we've got that on there. Now, this, I kind of wanted it to pop up a little bit. So I'm going to grab dimensionals again. I'll put one down here. Put one here near the middle, but on the wider part still. And then I'll put one right here. Yeah, that's hidden just fine. If that ends up being too narrow, you can always use the mini dimensionals. I'm so glad we have two different sizes now. So I'll take these off. And this is going to line, this bottom edge is going to line up with this bottom edge. Get nice and straight. There we go. There, isn't that look? That looks great. I love that. So this can be fine having this on this side. Let's put this to the side now. Yeah, I'm going to really like those snowflakes. I think I'm going to like this one better than my original. We're going to take these out of the glimmer paper. Now these do have some little pieces on the inside you want to pop out. It is super hard to see them on here. Now I could have kept them in the die and used my die brush, but oh, I guess I do have it over here. But since there's so few, I'm turning it over to where I can see where those little things are. Because I can see them now. I can't see them at all over here. Just get all of these popped out. Just take your finger. Once you get them moving, you can get the rest of it out with your finger. like so. And see how much better that looks when you get all those out. That really looks more like a tree. I like that a lot. Then, I think these icy blue ones are so pretty. When I saw this glimmer paper, I'm like, I've got to use this paper today. Okay, I'll get all these little guys out. Like I said, you could still use your brush with this, but since I've got this one handy, we'll go ahead and do it this way. And whenever I do it with a brush, I put it back in the die because the die helps protect the paper so you don't tear it up. And that'll help you get most of these out. There we go. So we've got all of those ready to go. Let's get all these little pieces out of here. Okay, get those in my little dish. Now I'm going to play around here. I did use some ribbon on my original. I want to see if I still want to do that. But this tree is going to go here. And this one is going to go here. Oh yeah, this looks just as good having it over here. Yep, I'm still going to do that ribbon. So, before I put those on, I have been doing videos for 12 weeks of fall and Halloween. And I'll put a link, but for those who are on YouTube, I can put a link to my videos up at the top right corner. I'll put it in the link in the video description for those of you on Facebook. But this is the metallic, metallic mesh ribbon. I love this ribbon. It is so pretty. And they have it in the Magic in This Night. I think that's what it's called, suite. It's the Halloween suite. So I've used on 2 Halloween projects, and I keep saying, I can't wait to use on something else. Well, this looks so glittery, I thought this will look great on this card. So we are going to take, since this has a bunch of holes in it, because it is mesh, I'm going to take my seal. I'm going to put a strip across here and a strip across here. I'm going to take this 6-inch piece. They're both 6-inch pieces, by the way. And then I'm just going to turn this like this. Actually, I take that back. I didn't want it to be this wide. Nice thing about that seal, I can take that right off. I'm going to fold this in half. Okay. Then put an end on my seal. Keep it all folded. Make sure I've got this end folded too. Wrap it across. So this is very versatile. I love that we can make it a little thinner. Actually, you might want to go with a 7-inch piece. This is kind of a little bit too short, so go with a 7-inch piece if you make this yourself. But I'm going to make this work. There we go. I just needed to move it a little bit. Now I've got enough to go across there. Okay, so now we've got a little narrower. Now I got to remember my trees are going to be over here, so this 6-inch piece I want to be on this side. I want this to be the opposite side of where my trees are. And I'm intentionally bunching this up. Oops, I'm not getting a hold of that other end. There we go. And the neat thing about doing this, you use a little less ribbon and you can move this back and forth, slide it where you want it. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to grab my scissors. Since this end's a little bit shorter, I like to cut them at an angle. There we go. So that just makes a neat little shiny thing to put on there. I really like that. Now that we've got that on there, we can put this on the card base. I'm intentionally putting seal on top of that ribbon. Because since we did fold it, you need a little more reinforcement there to keep it folded. And it'll keep that on there since I've made these so short. That extra glue is going to keep it on there so it won't be any problems. So if you still want to stick with a 6-inch, it is doable. And this is going to go on there like so. And I found that this is a little easier to put on with multi-purpose glue. Oops, I've got some sticky on my finger. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to put the big one on first, and I only need to put a dot in certain little places. You don't have to cover it. I could have done this with a seal, but then I would have seen seal coming through the holes, and I didn't want that. You could probably even use glue dots too, but I thought this was actually faster. Make sure you put a glue on the tips and on the edges so it doesn't pop up. Make sure you get some on the trunk, but then just do it just every once in a while on the inside, and it's going to stay on with no problem. Turn this over, and it is going to I want to tuck it under. That's why I put this little one on with dimensionals, so I can tuck that branch underneath that bottom slope. And if you see mine's taller is hitting that ribbon, that is fine. I just went ahead, I'm going to hold it down on the ribbon. When you use glue, you need to hold it down a few seconds until the glue takes hold. Isn't that pretty? I love that glitter. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, now I put the last tree on, and we will be done with this card. Okay, get all these on. I think this worked out great. I love the embossing on this. It just looks so pretty. So this one, I'm going to make sure I get the trunk underneath there. Now, one thing, I want this to be lower. You don't want that trunk to be showing up underneath that. I don't know if you can see that. So make sure that it's still hiding underneath that snow slope. Hold it down. There we go. And that's it. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I really do like that. Now, I did do a little something else on my original. Let me grab my original. On this one, I did emboss it, and I put these adhesive back snowflakes on there. And they've got two different colors with them. And I thought that looked really pretty. I don't think I'm going to put them on here because I think that might be too much with all the embossing. I think that looks pretty. But you could definitely add a few on there if you wanted to. But I don't want to take away from all those snowflake embossing. But I like this one better. It is so cute. So what I'll do, everybody has their different preferences. Whoever, everybody that comments during the premiere /live, you get put in the drawing, I will give you the choice of which one you want. So this is the one that's got the snowflake and it's not embossed, and this is the one that is embossed. My preference is the one that's embossed, but you can pick whichever one you want. The inside is the same on both of them, so those will be the same. So let me bring all the cards in again. You've still got a couple more minutes, probably less than 2 minutes, until the end of the video to comment. If you haven't commented yet, to get your name in the drawing. But everybody that comments during the live /premiere will get their names put in the drawing. And if you do any of the emojis, you'll get your name put in too. So I hope you liked the cards today. I had a lot of fun making these. And I will be back again in 2 weeks. Here's the next live. And that's going to be on September 11th. I know that date we're always going to remember, but I didn't want to change because we're doing every other Friday. So it's going to be September 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget to share the video. This is for everybody that can get in on this prize. If you share my video and comment shared below on both YouTube and Facebook, you'll name it put in the drawing to earn the Frosted Flowers Embellishments. And you've got until September 10th, the end of the day, September 10th, to share the video and comment shared. Okay, guys, that is it. I think I'm going to go take a nap. But I really had fun making these, and I'm looking forward to watching this video with you here this afternoon. So those of you that are watching after the premiere is over, please comment and have any questions you have. You may not be putting the drawing for the cards, but I'll still be there, and I'll be checking every day comments so I can answer your questions. I just love hearing from you. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend, and stay safe and take care of yourselves. Bye.